Welcome to Political Adda. I'm Manasi Phadke, Deputy Editor with ThePrint, and joining us today is former Maharashtra Chief Minister and Senior Congress Leader Prithviraj Chavan and our very own Political Editor DK Singh. Now, political equations in Maharashtra have been changing for quite a while, but this just got starker on Sunday when everybody was surprised to see Ajit Pawar and several NCP MLAs arrive at Raj Bhavan and become a part of the government led by Eknath Shinde and Devendra Fadnavis. There are many questions with regards to what has happened and the sequence of events. But let's start with the most obvious one. So, what is the future now of the opposition in Maharashtra, of the Mahavikas Aghadi? You have two regional parties, two major players of the opposition alliance, which have split in 2 years.
Well, I think the Mahavikas Aghadi, there are both positives and negatives. On the face of it, a major constituent of the Mahavikas Aghadi, rather the largest constituent of the Mahavikas Aghadi, the NCP, has split down the middle. And a large number, almost close to 2/3, has gone and joined the Shinde-Fadnavis alliance and has joined BJP. What is left is about 1/3 MLAs. We don't know the exact number. And there is a very serious dispute about who ultimately leads which faction, whether the election commission will recognize one faction or the other faction. Will the symbol be frozen, given to one group, and all that is still being debated in various fora. So to that extent, that 30 odd MLAs, particularly in the Western Maharashtra region, who would have been our allies, who would have been fighting election with us against Mr. Modi, are now going to fight with Mr. Modi against us. To that extent, it is a loss of certain of our colleagues, and we feel there will be some pockets where we'll have to work very hard.
Sir,
But let me finish. DK, let me finish. But the larger picture, if you look at it, people of Maharashtra on the whole are very, very angry. First, with the treachery with which the Shiv Sena government was brought down by BJP, by the top BJP leadership in Delhi, and now the way the NCP was brought down after 25, 26 years, and the dirty linen that is being washed in public, it's absolutely despicable, and people are very upset at what BJP is doing. They are blaming the BJP top leadership and Maratha leadership, Mr. Fadnavis and his friends, more than Mr. Shinde or Ajit Pawar or whatever. Of course, they are responsible, but this was everything was architectured by Mr. Fadnavis and the top leaders in Delhi, you know who. And it's not the first time we've seen this happening in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Meghalaya, Shiv Sena, now in Maharashtra. So this is the modus operandi.
Was he that ambitious even then? And when you were the chief minister, irrigation scam was being talked about. Did you at some point of time do something about that?
No, two things. He was deputy CM with me, technically on 2 occasions. Because during my...
Oh, he resigned for a month.
He resigned for a month. He joined, so he had to be sworn in again. So he's sworn in as a deputy CM twice under my chief ministership. Well, he is definitely an ambitious young man. He has certain qualities. He's very hardworking. He's very disciplined. He's very punctual. He manages his time very well. He beats lots of people, and he's able to decide on the spot. He's very decisive. But that comes with the way he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was rolling in political power equation the day he was born. So I think, but many people have not been able to digest that power which came with being in the particular family. But he has been. But he's been very extremely ambitious. Even when he was the chief minister under me, there was almost a battle for turf, and 2 incidents, major incidents happened. Many things. We did some good work. I mean, I must say that together our government did lots of good things which we did not publicize, because Congress party was not given to the publicity game as we see today. Many initiatives in health sector, many initiatives in agriculture sector. We handled a very serious drought. We conceived the concept of the ponds, the small ponds, which the new chief minister continued that scheme and now call it Shivar Yojana, Dalyukta Shivar Yojana. We started that Yojana. Ajit Pawar was particularly keen to ban gutka and this pan masala. We did that. Many good things were done, and it was a serious government. I mean, the completely serious meetings were taken place. We tried to reform the Mumbai's development scheme, Mumbai's builders and all that. They're slightly unhappy with me, but we try to bring some discipline in the field. We build houses. We give houses to mill workers in mill lands of Bombay. Lots of good work was done, maybe not publicized well. During that time, two things, major things happened, which I think apparently NCP was very upset about. One was the state cooperative bank issue. I'll not call it a scam. That developed later. But Raghuram Rajan, the then governor of the Reserve Bank, came to call on me, which is the tradition whenever a new governor comes in, he calls on the state chief minister. We had a long chat about international economy, 2008 and all that. And finally, we discussed Maharashtra banking affairs, and he quietly told me that your state cooperative bank is running for last 60 years, but it does not have license under the Banking Regulation Act. And you said, I have made very strict rule that now no institution will call itself a bank unless it has Reserve Bank's Banking Regulation Bank license. I checked up with my people. I asked them whether it was a fact. They said, yes, we don't have a license. So I told the governor, okay, we'll apply for a license tomorrow. Please give it to us. He said, no, I can't give it to you because your bank is running in the net loss of 1,100 crores. So I can't give a new banking license to an institution which has got 1,100 crore loss. So he said, what is to be done? He said, I received a report from NABARD that there are a lot of wrongdoings happening which has caused this loss to happen, and I'll have to supersede the elected board of the Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank. We discussed the matter a little, and it was inevitable that the board be discussed. And the only request I made was, okay, you go ahead and do what you had to do, because as per your banking rules, but please let me appoint the administrators of my choice, and we intend to bring the bank back to health. He agreed. I appointed my finance secretary, a very top-class IAS officer, and cooperation secretary, another top-class IAS officer with great experience in cooperative banking. And you'll be surprised, within 3 years, these two gentlemen turned the bank around from 1,100 crore loss to a 700 crore profit. And 12 years afterward, there have been no elections. Even Mr. Devendra Fadnis or Ajit Pawar have not been able to hold elections to the bank. The bank is still being run by state-appointed administrators. It's now become the backbone of Maharashtra's cooperative sector, as it always was. The second issue was Ajit Pawar, as the planning minister, issued the annual State of the Economy report, the economic survey report, which is published in Delhi for national government, state government, and every state government publishes the State of Economy report. That report, published by Ajit Pawar's planning ministry, he was holding the planning portfolio, had a chapter on irrigation, which said that for the last 10 years, that is from 2001 to 2010, Maharashtra government had spent 70,000 crores in irrigation. But it said that the growth in percentage of irrigation was from 18% to 18.1%. That is, in last 10 years, after spending 70,000 crore rupees, Maharashtra's irrigation had gone up by just 0.1%, which is, of course, a shocking statistics given by Ajit Pawar's ministry itself in that report. So in a meeting, I said, look, this is not acceptable. A project like Nagpur Gosikhur project, which was launched by Rajiv Gandhi in 87 and was to be concluded in 5 years at the cost of 380 crore rupees, was still running in 2010 after so many years, and the cost has gone to 16,000 crores from 387 crores. And I was shocked. So I ordered the irrigation department to publish a white paper, and all the dams Maharashtra has got the highest number of dams in the country. So on all the dams, I wanted a white paper to be published. White paper is usually an official communication from government to people. But unfortunately, the meaning of white paper in Maharashtra was misunderstood. It was conceived to be an inquiry against the Education Department. It was not. Had it been an inquiry, I would have ordered it with the Anti-Corruption Bureau or with the Police Department. It was not. I must say the Irrigation Department produced an outstanding report on Maharashtra's irrigation sector. It's a report on which many people can do a PhD. And it outlined all the reasons why projects get delayed. It is not all corruption. It is mismanagement, misplanning, wrong estimations. The purpose was that such mistakes should not be permitted. But these two major incidents, after one of which Ajit Pawar resigned in a half, saying it's an attack on my personal integrity, my political career, if you sought to. Okay? But he resigned. I said, fine, it's your choice. But after about a month or so, when he realized that what it is being out of power, he requested his uncle to bring him back to cabinet, and he came back and got sworn in as a deputy CM second time. So I think that caused so much hurt within the NCP that NCP Supremo thought that Sonia ji had selected me specifically and sent to Maharashtra to finish NCP. It is far from the truth. It was completely silly. There are 30 states in India. Each state has 2 or 3 or 4 regional parties. Now, should Mrs. Gandhi take a laptop and sit on 120 parties in the country and see which party in Meghalaya to finish now, which party in Tamil Nadu have to finish? It's completely silly. There's nothing like that. These two things, which are done entirely in the interest of the people of Maharashtra, state of Maharashtra, are misunderstood. And I had to pay a price. When we went to 2014 assembly election, we have been in coalition for a long time, from almost 2004. Suddenly, one evening, I saw that Mr. Ajit Pawar and Mr. Sharad Pawar has brought down my government. They gave a letter to the governor saying, we are no longer part of this coalition government. And I had to resign. I resigned, went to the governor. Governor told me that elections are around the corner, so you continue the caretaker chief minister. And central government obligingly brought in the president rule. And for the first time in history of Maharashtra, the BJP indirectly through Delhi ruled Maharashtra before the result of 2024 election. And of course, we had to pay a price when the government split. People did not vote for us and they voted for Shiv Sena BJP alliance.
Sir, this program is mostly for our viewers to ask, so I will not take much time. But I have just one question for you. You were Ajit Pawar's boss for so long. How difficult is it going to be for Eknath Shinde to deal with it as his deputy?
Well, the whole arrangement of Eknath Shinde as a CM and former CM Devendra Fadnavis as the deputy CM was very, very unnatural arrangement. It has not worked. You saw some time back advertising war through full-page advertisement which claimed that Eknath Shinde has become more popular than Devendra Fadnavis, and the next day they had tried to correct it. The first ad carried the photograph of the Prime Minister. Now, no photograph of Prime Minister can be published without PMO approval. So did Prime Minister Narendra Modi permit an ad to be published which showed that Eknath Shinde is more popular? We don't know. There were a lot of bickerings. In a cabinet of 43 members, they only had 20 members. So they could not even expand the cabinet because the infighting was so huge. How many portfolios and which portfolios will go to BJP, which one will go to Shinde faction, all that. Now, on top of that, you have this third leg of the stool. Third power with a very powerful personality in Maharashtra state, Ajit Pawar, with his 9 people they have sworn in as ministers. And now it's very difficult. The cabinet has now gone to 29. There are still 14 vacancies. But the Eknath Shinde group, where they expect him to be landed with plum posts, ministerships and others, now they have to share it with Ajit Pawar. There is so much bad blood flowing all across. In BJP, in senior RSS leadership, in old BJP MLAs, in Shinde group MLAs, and everybody is so upset that I don't know how they're going to even distribute portfolios, leave out, expand the remaining cabinet. So this is an unnatural arrangement. Why did they do it? I still don't understand.
So, sir, my question is, should Eknath Shinde be laughing or crying that he has such a competent deputy as Ajit Pawar?
Well, I think there was a meeting yesterday, or day before yesterday, of the Eknath Shinde group ministers in Eknath Shinde's residence. It was a very, very hotly contested meeting. Eknath Shinde must have given them some confidence because there were rumors floating that he will have to demit office and Ajit Pawar will become chief minister, which I personally believe will happen sooner than later. And meeting became so acrimonious that we hear rumors that there were really literally MLAs came to blows. Some MLAs said evil things, bad things about the chief minister. Chief minister's supporters manhandled that MLA, and sordid tales are coming out of that meeting. So it's going to be very difficult. There are also rumors that a certain faction of the Shinde group is willing to go back to Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. Whether that will happen, I don't know. But I don't know what the logic of doing this was, unless BJP was convinced that Mr. Eknath Shinde would not be able to lead BJP into Lok Sabha election. They needed a Maratha face. They would not do, Devendra Fadnavis would not do, he's not a Maratha. And therefore, they found a Maratha face in Ajit Pawar, who's an extremely experienced campaigner, administrator, leader, and he brings a lot of MLAs with him, almost 30, 35 MLAs with him. And those many constituencies will become positive for BJP. So that they have decided that, and if that happens, it will be very sad for Mr. Shinde. He'll be dumped, I think, very unsafe.
And Mr. Fadnavis too.
Mr. Fadnavis may be taken to Delhi, I think, because it's very untenable that already his becoming deputy CM was very, very strange. Now he's become half a deputy CM. There are two of them now. So, and who gets what portfolios, we don't know. So I think our best case scenario would be to shift Mr. Fadnavis to Delhi, and even Mr. Shinde can go to Delhi, or if Shinde's son can become a minister in Delhi. We don't know what BJP will do.
So we'll take a question from one of our viewers. She asks, what is exactly the benefit of Ajit Pawar in this whole arrangement? Now he is the deputy chief minister for the 5th time. Even if he gets the finance portfolio, it's not something that he's not done before. What does he and his MLAs get out of it?
No, his MLAs get out of the ED heat, which was the whole reason for them to see. If you look at the political background of all of the 9 MLAs who become ministers and others who are likely to join him, everybody has a serious corruption charge against them and serious ED cases against all of them. Many of them have been guests of our Arthur Road prison for a long time. Mr. Bhujbal was in jail for over 2 years, and the case is still out on bail. Many of them are out on bail. So the sword of ED is hanging over there. So one big reason for the NCP MLAs was to get out of ED heat. ED cases are not going to be withdrawn. They're only going to be suspended to serve a purpose, which will be the Lok Sabha election. What happens later, we don't know. Of course, these people who are out in the cold, who are in the opposition parties, become ministers. So they get that also. And Ajit Pawar, I think, has been promised something bigger. But your viewer's question was absolutely right. Why become a deputy CM 5th time? And even he gets finance portfolio, which there is a lot of doubt about it, whether he'll get the finance portfolio or not, because Shinde's people walked out of the earlier alliance only because of Ajit Pawar, and only because in his finance portfolio, he troubled them so much. So I think what is it for him? I think he must have done it only to get a bigger prize, and which is the chief ministership. And I think Mr. Modi has decided that he will not be able to go under leadership of Mr. Eknath Shinde or even Devendra Fadnavis. So he has found this person who he has put all his eggs in one basket. Now let's see what happens.
However, butting in, so I have this question, because you started talking about ED and agencies. You were such a powerful minister. You were a minister in the Prime Minister's office. And I remember you staying put at the AICC headquarters till 9 o'clock because Amar Singh would be waiting for you at your residence for some CBI stuff. So, coming to your role of agency, then is it that you could not think of the potential of these central agencies?
No. We always knew it was all these agencies were created by Congress. Every single one of them. CBI, of course, was created before independence.
Yeah.
But I was looking after CBI for almost, for many years. See, Congress never thought of using these agencies for a political purpose, to blackmail opponents, to browbeat opponents into submission. This is a part of political culture. We couldn't think about doing it. Okay, Congress party might have dissolved some governments during Indiraji's time and all that thing, which you can't do today. That may be so. But use agencies to browbeat people, to throw people behind bars without giving them a reason, without giving a charge sheet. I don't know whether they're guilty or not. That's for the agencies and the court to decide. But we never did that. We had created those agencies. We could have converted those agencies into tools of our convenience for political parties. We don't do it. It's a question of political culture. It is a party which gave ourselves a constitution. And we would not compromise the institutions of democracy, constitutional institution, as this present government, as Mr. Narendra Modi is doing.
So, and these NCP MLAs may have had this sword of ED probes hanging over their heads, but same could be said perhaps for, opposition MLAs from the Congress. Aren't there Congress MLAs who are also facing an ED heat? There have also been talks of perhaps the Congress splitting next in Maharashtra. What is your take on all of this?
No, you said two things. One is, could Congress MLAs be facing ED heats? I don't know. Nobody directly has been, there is no ED case against anybody that I know of. ED could be examining certain people. I don't know. Number one. Number two, you said, will the Congress party split? Now, that is not probable. Anything can happen in politics, but that's not probable because we are a 45-member strong party. Now, in order to cause a split, we'll need 30 people to leave the party. This is not going to happen because Congress MLAs are spread all over the state of Maharashtra, unlike BJP, unlike the NCP group, which is concentrated in Pune, Nasik, and Ahmednagar areas. They're very close, homogeneous group. We are not. So I think 30 people leaving Congress party at this stage, and Congress is on a comeback trail with a glorious victory in Karnataka, is not possible at all. Now, can one odd MLA with ED heat go away? Yes, he's free to resign and maybe join BJP and contest again. That cannot be ruled out. It has happened in the past. Almost 20, 30, 40 members of Congress and 20, 30 senior leaders of NCP were forced. There's a logic to it. Some key principal leaders in the Congress party who, say, control 3-4 MLAs who control a district or two districts, they would target them. That is not, if I was sitting in Modi's chair and if I was determined to use agencies for evil like he's doing today, then it will not be beyond him to target certain leaders,
right.
Have a group of MLAs with them. But I don't think anybody leave at this juncture today when Congress is on the comeback trail. We're looking at the possibility of Congress-led government in Delhi or opposition-led government in Delhi with the opposition alliance that's happening. And what has happened in NCP is also part of that game plan to weaken the possible national alliance of opposition parties, which is going to, the 17-party alliance, which is going to face Mr. Modi tomorrow. And I think personal targeting of Mr. Sharad Pawar is part of that game.
Okay. We'll take another question from one of our viewers, Tanmay Gupta. He asks, will this lead to a Congress resurgence in Maharashtra, since they are now the only opposition left, the largest opposition party left in Maharashtra, and so all the opposition votes will consolidate with them?
No, I don't know what will happen in Lok Sabha election. We'll, of course, try to win. But let me tell you that the MVA alliance of Uddhavji's Sena, of Congress party, and NCP led by Mr. Sharad Pawar, the leaders whom Mr. Pawar literally lifted from the dirt and made them national leaders, they're not talking about him and they're not denigrating me. It's just to diminish his stature so that he doesn't play an important role in the opposition unity. But I can tell you that MVA will fight this election together with whatever strength we got, and where every passing day we are being encouraged, we're strengthening, people are supporting us. They don't like what is happening in Maharashtra.
No, but sir, the question is quite valid, very logical. So you have this, say, anti-BJP space, or so-called secular space. Now you have the NCP, which is a bit weakened. It certainly offers the Congress that opportunity to actually grow.
Well, I don't look at that way. Many people have said it's an opportunity for Congress and Congress can now grow at the cost of NCP. Well, certain space has been vacated by NCP. But the first right on that space will be of Mr. Sharad Pawar. If people overall get disillusioned with smaller political parties, that's it's a larger question. I personally feel that at least for the Lok Sabha election, people are gravitating towards fewer parties. I'm not saying two parties, but fewer parties. We were much better. There's a serious crisis of employment, there's a serious crisis of inflation. Mr. Modi has not been able to manage the economy. He's selling the public sector undertakings. He's increasing taxes. He's borrowing to the hilt. There's a charge of serious crony capitalism which nobody's answered. I think people are fed up with Mr. Modi. His magic is over. And people are shown in Karnataka that Mr. Modi can be beaten. And I think we will have a change of government in 2024.
We'll take another question. This one's by Aditya. Considering BJP's history of use and throw of its coalition partners, do you think Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar splitting their parties, getting MLAs, etc., have taken a big risk?
Not only they have taken a big risk, the BJP has taken a big risk. Because BJP's squeaky clean image is completely tarnished. BJP is now a party which induces people with 50 khokas, particularly charges leveled by Mr. Kejriwal, have not been answered at all. So there are a lot to explain. I think building a Ram Mandir or trying to bring in uniform civil code will not solve Mr. Modi's problems.
On 5th of July, the State Election Commission issued a circular indicating that it is now starting preparation for holding all the local body elections that have been pending in September, October this year. While it has later said that, this is not an official announcement of the polls to be held as such. But do you think that the BJP, Eknath Shinde, Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar, NCP now after everything that has happened, do you think now they're feeling more confident to hold this election? Well,
before the split, I could have sworn that they will not hold a local bodies election because we formed a formidable alliance. If you look at the votes obtained by our three parties in the previous election, we had a huge lead over the Shinde-Fadnavis government. Even certain local papers who carried out a survey gave us a 8 percentage point lead. So at that point of time, it was impossible to conceive any election. But even today, while BJP might be little more confident of holding elections, I think it's not so easy because the perception of people that they have stolen a government, that they are utilizing these tactics everywhere, wherever they lose a government, has not gone down well with the people. So they'll test water, they'll do surveys, they'll talk to people and think that if the water is, they think they can do reasonably well, then they'll hold elections because those local body elections are long overdue, more than 1.5 years overdue. I think they can't delay them any longer, but not if they're going to lose them. And
Aditya also asks, what happens if the Shinde camp and Ajit Pawar camp are not able to deliver, particularly in Mumbai? Will it change equations at the state level as well?
Well, I think if the Shinde is not able to deliver, he'll be dumped. So therefore, that is precisely the reason why I don't think they'll hold elections before Lok Sabha. I think they'll now go for the Lok Sabha and whatever has to happen in Lok Sabha.
All right. Sankalp, another viewer, asks, why is BJP outsourcing the job of gathering votes from key communities like the Jats in Haryana and Marathas in Maharashtra to regional parties? Maharashtra is more baffling because BJP does have young and veteran Maratha leaders and has made inroads into the Maratha bastions of Congress.
Well, I think they made inroads in Maratha bastion not on ideological grounds, but only by threatening people with action, particularly in the cooperative sector of Western Maharashtra. And they broke away lots of people from NCP and Congress before the 2019 election. So ideologically, they're not homogeneous. They're not one. They don't believe in the Hindutva ideology at all. Because most of the people who have gone from Congress and NCP belong to a left of center secular ideology. they have gone and joined BJP only to save their cooperative institutions. So really, BJP has not been able to throw up new young leadership, empower them with ministries and all that thing. So they really don't have a good Maratha face, and they think Maratha being a very large percentage population in Maharashtra, almost 32-35%, they think that they should be led by a Maratha. The leaders who have been imported from Congress party into BJP are obviously they're not willing to trust them at all, and that's why they have to outsource first Mr. Shinde, and now they have to even Mr. Shinde has not been able to deliver, so now they're experimenting with Ajit Pawar, who will also not be able to deliver.
And we have another question from Sankalp. He asks, Maharashtra is an MLA-centric state. It's the key reason why Congress had an uninterrupted rule of 35 and later 15 years. Even emergency or Hindutva couldn't break this hold. But BJP vanquished the Congress and was running second in Western Maharashtra, which is NCP stronghold. Has BJP now given up on its Western Maharashtra expansion for just a few Lok Sabha seats?
No, I think BJP has not been able to grow organically within its own fold and persuade people of Western Maharashtra to follow the Hindutva ideology. They have grown inorganically by importing leaders from Congress and NCP. Importing? By threatening leaders of these cooperative institutions, many of them, some deputy CMs, some party presidents, some sitting MP, many ministers, many former MLAs were overnight made to switch parties only with the threat of action against these people. I can give the names of almost 40, 50, 60 senior leaders who were. So real split in the Congress and NCP had happened before even 2019, but it was not a formal split of MLAs, but many senior leaders had gone. So the Shiv Sena split was a split of MLAs, and now the NCP split also is a split of MLAs. But these things happened. But let me underline that BJP has not organically grown in Western Maharashtra, or rather in Maharashtra. Their ideology, they have not been able to spread too much. It is only coercive action against those who had educational institutes, cooperative institutes. Any wrongdoing was tolerated under a condition of joining BJP.
Okay. One final question from my side. Sharad Pawar, in his first reaction, the first press conference that he held after Ajit Pawar went and took oath as Deputy Chief Minister at Raj Bhavan, he spoke about how in the 1980s, when a split had, he basically rebuilt the party from 5 MLAs to what it is now. At that time, not NCP. That time he was, he rebuilt his faction from 5 MLAs to what it was later. And he can do so again. But age is not on his side, is what everybody is saying. He's hit the ground running. Supriya Sule is working president. She is with him. Do you really think that there is a chance that Sharad Pawar could pull it off again? And what is Supriya Sule's popularity as a leader in Maharashtra?
The 2-3 things. Can he do it again? You can never tell in politics. But what he did in 1980 was 43 years ago.
Yeah.
Mr. Pawar was 43 years younger. So can he do it now? Of course, he has energy, he has the willpower, he is decisive. But unfortunately, while he's will still undertake rallies and tours and all that, he has lost many good lieutenants, right-hand, left-hand people who used to run their districts for him.
Right.
Used to be a key people, points person in Delhi, people in Mumbai, they all left him. So he'll have to start building from that point up. People may be with him, but those votes had to be delivered. Those crowds had to be delivered. Those public meetings have to be organized by somebody. That is my organization. So I think he will go to districts where he has got some structure left and demonstrate to the state that he has still the popular support. And then the wavering MLAs who are neither gone this side nor that side, then will then force back. See, every single MLA, calling back his hometown, his campaign managers, his municipal presidents, his Jilla Parishad people, who's number 2 rank and file in their constituency, and feeling whether the there will be support for this decision when they go back to their constituencies. And if they feel that people are angry, there are huge boards. की आम्ही साहेबांच्या बरोबर boards are that we are with Sahib. Pawar is called Sahib in Western Maharashtra. So if the boards say, and the photographs of supporting people down below say that we are with Mr. Sharad Pawar, then the MLA who crossed over gets worried. So that's why we do not have the final number yet.
Right. MLAs are waiting.
Ajit Pawar has 2/3 or not. If it doesn't have 2/3, it risks being disqualified again, second time. We don't know. But Sharad Pawar, let's not forget that Mr. Ajit Pawar is not playing alone. The entire might of the central government, Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, the ED, the CBI, NIA, everything is with him this time. So I don't know what happens.
I have one last question. It's about you, in fact. So we are expecting a big organizational reshuffle in the Congress. In Maharashtra, also, Congress has to think about its leadership within the legislature party and otherwise. You have such huge experience at the center, in this state. You're a very proven administrator. In fact, in the last election, when I was traveling, people would still remember you as somebody with such clean image and a good administrator. Now that we have such exciting times ahead in Maharashtra, and we're expecting a reshuffle within the organization, where do we see you playing a role? I mean, would you like to stay in state politics or move over to Delhi?
DK, you have observed Congress party for a very long time. I mean, you know how Congress party decides. See, I have done so much for the party, what I could do, but party has done so much for me. For me to expect to be given some post or some this thing, will be unfair. I'll try to do whatever I can till I'm active for the Congress party. It's for the Congress party to decide how to redraw the map of Maharashtra, how to redraw equations, and how to get the appropriate leadership in place in Delhi, in Maharashtra. That's for Rahul Gandhi, Khargeji, and the people who are advising Mr. Rahul Gandhi, for them to take the decision. Okay. I'm happy, but let me tell you one thing. Till whatever the rumors, whatever other people, but I am committed to the ideology. We raised some issues in the political party which sort of put us in the wrong box or kind of thing. But all we are saying that let Congress party also be run democratically, or if Mr. Rahul Gandhi did not want to run the party on a day-to-day basis, then let it be done democratically. We won some victory. There was an election. We all supported Mr. Phadke to become the president. And I think Phadke played a major role in Karnataka victory. I think he is going to be one of the important leaders of the Congress party. So it's for the current leadership of the Congress party to see how they want to organize each state unit. There are a lot of lessons in Karnataka victory. Karnataka was left to local leaders and they delivered. Mr. Phadke was an important factor also. And I think if you fight hard in forthcoming elections, we'll get good results. And I'm sure the Congress will turn itself in Maharashtra also, as long as local leadership is encouraged and allowed to take decisions. To me, I don't know. It's for the Congress High Command to decide.
What's your preference, Maharashtra or center?
No, I'll share that you personally. I got a lot of public airwaves.
All right. So we'll end on that note. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today despite your busy schedule. And thank you to our viewers for watching. We'll be back with another episode next week.